All right, everybody. We are live and we're going to be chatting about this app. So, let's talk about how far we got. So, we added some code offline. It's really ugly and bad, and I don't like it, but at the same time, I just want to continue on. So this works as it is, but we need to test it out. So we'll be testing it out a little bit today. I'm going to show you what it does though. So basically, if I have a library and I have the version of that package, so I have mock and I have 4.16.1. Let's actually bring up another tab just so that we can kind of test this. So basically what this does is, let's look at mock really quick. So mock has these dependencies. It supports .NET Standard 2.0 and .NET Standard 2.1 and .NET Framework 4.5. So our new thing basically says, hey, you should support at least .NET Standard 2.0, but we also want you to support .NET 5. So a lot of these packages don't do that right now. And we want to change that. We want to let people know, hey, there is a latest framework out there. So let's look at some of these other popular packages and just see if any of them are supporting. So like this one, for example, would throw as well. Let's look for one that might support .NET 5 already. I don't know if we're gonna find one. I don't actually know which one might be supporting it already. I'd assume that probably an Entity Framework might. Let's just kind of look around. So this one supports a lot of old stuff. It has .NET Standard in it. What about Poly? Let's try this one. No, this one's still .NET Standard. AutoFac. What about this one? So this one does it. So let's try AutoFac. So I mean, AutoFac's kind of been our go-to example this whole time we've been building this thing. So if I typed in AutoFac, and is it? Yeah, and then 610. So this one should get the full 20 points if we coded this right. If we didn't, then it's something's wrong. So yeah, but we're still throwing an error here. So I have some logic wrong. Let's look into that. That shouldn't happen. So that's going to be in our score section service. So we say if it's compatible and is latest. So this is where it's throwing. And what we need to say is basically if it's not compatible, we screwed that one up. So if we do it again, this should more or less work. So it's still showing must target this. So I want to make sure that this is getting the right flow. So let's look at that again. So is compatible is true and is latest is true, right? So it should skip over this. If it is compatible, which it is true, so we're gonna need more conditions here. And not is latest, right? And then if it is latest and not is compatible. So we coded that up pretty quickly, but let's just double check. So that fixed it. Cool. So this says it's always going to be true. Why is that? Else if, I mean, I guess because it's else or what? Else is latest. It shouldn't always be true, right? Because it is false up here. Maybe I have a bug somewhere. I mean, regardless, it's not a huge deal because it works. So that's what we want to do. So let's test this against like my app, which definitely has nothing. So let's do app intro here. And I think it was like 1.0.0. I have honestly not published many. So I should get 0 points and I should get both error messages, or at least one error message. So I did. Cool. And then also I have these things, which basically says I'm missing a few things. I need to fix the rules for the new spec score. Right now it's just detracting points from 10. And I mean, it's okay, but like, I don't really provide everything here. So we might have to fix that later, but this one seems to work well. Target the most compatible and latest frameworks, target the most compatible and latest target frameworks, and then multi-target your library. So we might want to switch a little bit of the wording here, but yeah, I want to probably say, yeah, target the most that, because it's kind of duplicate, right? Like, you're kind of saying like target the most compatible and latest frameworks. I mean, I don't really mind. It's not like terrible. Again, we're gonna have to fix all these strings later, but this section for the most part, I mean, it works. I don't really have any large issues with it. I think we might need a status here, but at the same time, we can just continue on. I mean, status for the most part should work pretty well. It's just like I can't say like results here, right? Because we have multiple API documentations. So I'd like to put a lot more numbers in this thing too, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's work on the next scoring section. Yeah, so the next one we have is pass static analysis or support up-to-date dependencies. So the static analysis part, I think is going to be super hard. Let's look at, I think I was looking at something like GitHub NuGet Package Explorer. And inside of this tool, there is a .NET validate command. It's a very simple library, right? But it does do some static analysis. So let's look at what they do. Another thing I want to consider too is I have a lot of these commands pretty much ready and I can keep iterating on them. So I kind of want to think about publishing and getting the code to the point where we can publish it as well. So there's this remote, run this remote command, right? All this stuff, downloads a package, downloads the package file, gets the version string, basically tells you if the version string is valid or not, and then runs this async. So let's see what that does. So this run async thing does a few different things. There's like a validator, so a simple validator, whatever that is. There's these write results, which are from this result class, which means that this validator validates a lot of things. So we're gonna have to look into what that validator thing is. There's a few different things it looks like. There's a source link. There's a deterministic, so I really want that one. I really want compiler flags as well, just to kind of start out with. So let's see how we can get that. So result.deterministic, result.compiler flags, and let's see how we can get that. So validator.validate, let's look for that. So there's all of these two, which is like showing, hey, it's valid, it's not deterministic, all this other type of stuff. So that's fine. I really like these switch statements. When did those get added? Was that like C# 8 or 7 or something? I don't even know. Okay, so validator, what is it called? Symbol validator is what we're looking for here. So I'll just say symbol validator right here, core. So the validate command here, nuget assigns all the packages, look for that. Okay. I'm really just looking for the deterministic stuff. So deterministic. How are we looking for this? If we have a PDB, we're looking for it. Check for deterministic sources. So assembly metadata, debug data, sources are deterministic. So that's what I need to look for. So where is it? What is assembly metadata here? That is a assembly metadata reader dot read metadata. And what's that taking in? An assembly path. So let's look at what this is. Get debug data. So it's pulling something else in here too. What is this? Metadata parser. So let's look at what that is. Read debug directory. Yeah, I don't really care about that stuff. So let's go back. So we're reading some assembly stuff. Has source link, untracked sources. Don't care about that. Deterministic. Sources are deterministic. So that's what I need to find that. So debug data, sources are deterministic is what we're looking for. And then compiler flags as well. So those are the two things I'm going to be looking for. Yeah, let's go back forward. Sources are deterministic, so it's not in this file. It might be in this one. No, not in here either. So let's just look through we'll just do a search in the repository. So this is that. So here's this. So right here, it gets set. It's a lazy Boolean, and it gets set as the value. So that doesn't help too much. Compiler version supports reproducible. This might be interesting actually, because I can actually do this right now. And then here's the calculate this. So if the doc, so sources all, what's the sources here again? Sources are a list of debug source documents. Okay, now we're getting into it. So what I'm using is I'm using monosyscil. There's not really much documentation on it. The mono project usually has the most. But what I'm thinking is that I want to see if I can get metadata with monosyscil. That'd be cool, because then I can just avoid a lot of what they're doing in the code. So the big differences are it does not support extracting the CLI bytecodes, and we don't also need to load anything. That's why I like to use it. So let's see if we can. So like monosyscil get metadata, right? So let's see if there's any. Oh, here's a repo. What about this thing? So there's like a binary compat checker, a reference dumper. That actually might be really helpful. A PDB. So, I mean, this will be helpful in the future. Read assembly version. I don't really care about that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else with regards to like, so there's a metadata token. So this is directly from it. Maybe that might help. I'm not sure. Let's see if there's any like, I just want to see if there's any metadata stuff. I mean, I could just look at the class. I already have a lot of this stuff coded, so okay, let's just try to play around and see how far we get, I guess. So in the scorecards section, we're gonna make a new one, right? So right here, this one's gonna be called get static analysis score section async, and that's fine. And then for now, we're just going to return a new score section. So what we're trying to do here is very similar to which section was it? The score service. So we're going to call this thing, right? We're going to call var score section service equals new score section service, something like that, right? I'm going to say var pass static analysis score section equals await score section dot get static analysis, whatever, pass in the context here, right? And then we'll return a new list, and we'll do the simplified syntax. I don't like that. I wish it just went back. Return new list of the score section, and then of course with our new pass static analysis in there. So we're basically trying to say, does the code have warnings, errors, and all that other type of stuff? All this is worth 30 points. Code has all the health checks, and so we're trying to add the health checks right now. We're probably going to be doing something like this. So I'm going to just kind of pull this code for now, and we're just going to play around with it because we have a lot of it to kind of work with. So let's see, where does this end? Right here. So we'll start with this and we'll work our way through it, I guess. So we have these comments here. Let's start here. So we don't really care about a documentation list or anything like that. I'm gonna get rid of that. Don't need this. Don't need XML files here, right? Like there's no reason for XML. We just need the assemblies. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of those. We are going to be reading assemblies though, so that's why we're going to take this code. Don't necessarily know about members or document members yet. We do need the assembly path, so let's get rid of these. For each assembly path, we want to check that. We want to grab the string of the assembly. We want to copy it. We want to set the position to 0 so we can read it. This is where we want to understand a little bit more. So now that we have AD, right, there's going to be a lot of stuff in here. So metadata token, I think, is the one that we were thinking about. And I don't even know what's in metadata token. Like there's this token type. I don't even know what is in that thing. Like there's all of these different things, right? And what I'm thinking is that maybe there's something inside of the metadata token or something that we can get this code, which was this thing, like doc.starts with, and then this, that would calculate that it's deterministic. So sources is what again? Sources is a list of all this debug source document. And I don't even know where that thing comes from. I assume something. Assembly debug source document. So that's this. Okay, this might help. Oh, geez. This is a little bit more involved than I wanted it to be. Okay, so is embedded, has source link. So let's see if we can look at this, I guess. Like this app supports it, so like we should be able to figure it out, I guess. So we open this thing. So this one's not reproducible. So why? Ensure you are using at least the, what does that say? The 5.0.200 SDK or MS Build 16.9. Deterministic though, it says valid. And so what if I opened up a package that doesn't? So let's find something that might not be, maybe this one. So this one's missing. So ensure that you are using this, and then they've been compiled with the latest compiler. So I need to find a way that I can say that the compiler is latest. But let's go to like my old package that I wrote a long time ago, right? So like this one should have 0 on all of them. So deterministic, what's it telling me? Just missing symbols? I don't think that's right. Dependencies are not checked by this tool. Yeah. So that's where I need to figure this out. Missing symbols, missing. So something's bugged with this thing. It doesn't work if things are missing symbols. There's a bug in this, I think. So let's try to find another, I guess. Let's just go down the list, I guess. How about this one? Okay, so it's valid. Compiler flags are present, not reproducible. So I don't really understand that fully. I might have to figure out what that means later, I guess. Let's try Serolog. So those ones work. Oops. What else do we have? Here's one. Missing symbols. Yeah, there's a bug. So I can't really tell what this would be. So let's go to the ones that are deterministic, and then we're just gonna try to go from there. So the ones that do pass determinism or whatever. What is so special, I guess, right? That's kind of what we're trying to figure out. So here we go. This thing might help a little bit. So that's our signature. So there's got to be something in this assembly attributes that is different. I don't know if it's a GUID, or I don't know if there's a certain version in here that I'm looking for. Oh, so PDB info has the compiler flags present in them. Okay. So we would have to check the debug files for the compiler flags. But the deterministic part we can definitely do. Okay. So let's go back to what the deterministic thing was. Sources are deterministic. How do we figure this out? We don't care about reproducible. So calculate the sources are deterministic. So basically this, so long as the doc starts with that. So if I opened up this thing in like JetBrains.peak or something, let's look at the actual assembly and see what this is starting to look like. There's also this edit metadata source. What does that mean? Oh, so this just the new spec. So let's look at the metadata here. Yeah, I don't know the exact flag. I wouldn't know. I don't want to waste too much time on it, but it says just check all these sources, make sure that the name, so doc.name starts with that. So if we went forward to that class, right, we go to the name, which is just right here. And the name equals this name. And this is about the debug source. So what does that actually mean? So I don't assume that's anything with the assembly. That would be part of the, if the assembly had embedded PDBs. And how do I find those? Let's think. Yeah. I would assume this is it. Yeah, I'd have to look a little bit more into it. I mean, it's somewhat making sense, but also quite out of my wheelhouse, to be honest. Checks if it's embedded. How do I check to see if it's embedded? That'd be a good one. Let's see, mono Cecil, get embedded PDB. That'd be cool if there's something. So there's this. You can do that. So the thing I could do is I'd have to find the PDB files. They don't have them, right? Because they're just assemblies. Yeah. So I need to find like an embedded way. Here it is. This beta adds support for the PDB. Okay, so it's just a log of it. I guess we can learn a little bit about embedded PDB. Like how does this thing work? Like I know how they kind of work, but I guess it's just the GUID. Like how exactly does this work, I guess, right? Because I mean we have like embedded. If the GUID does not match, you won't be able to. Yeah, I totally understand that. Okay, well, if we're gonna get stuck on this one, maybe we just go to the one we do know how to do. Yeah, embeds the PDB files directly inside the DLLs. Like, I want to know what this magic is, so I want to look into it. So debug type portable is what we want. So I want some documentation here. Okay, so so this one is documented. Let's read. Oh gosh. This is a lot. I don't want to know too much about it. Ugh. I can see the resemblance though, right? Like you look at this code and you see C# Visual Basic, and then you look at here and you're like Visual Basic and the language field value, and these things probably match. Like 3F, yeah, they probably match. AB, and they probably match. And I really did not want to go too far into a PDB reader. Like, I really didn't want to. So maybe I'll just take on this implementation or something similar. Because to be honest, this is just too involved right now. I want to learn a little bit about how it comes to be though. So you have a blob. That's what we were looking at. That blob basically has an offset, all this jazz. Blob has a following structure. So let's look at what it is. So I assume that this whole blob is pretty much it, right? And there's these offsets. So maybe I'll just see if I can ask someone who might know. That might be a little bit quicker and easier. I don't want to have to convert this whole thing to a portable PDB reader. I thought there was already implementations for it somewhere. So here's other things too, right? So this is stuff that would be really helpful for me for this tool, which is compiler version. And I think that this tool supports that thing, because in here there was talk about like the compiler version and stuff. I think like compiler version, right? So yeah, there is some support for this thing. The question is where is this one coming from exactly? With build metadata set to commit SHA. So we have to find this one. Compilation options, parent module. Okay, so the question would be, can I do this in Cecile? Is there other things inside of Cecile that would allow me to do this, I guess? Because there's like modules, there's assembly name, there's this metadata token, and I think it might be in a metadata token or something. So let's try something. Let's just play around with it. So var metadata equals 80 dot metadata token. We'll just kind of dive into it, I guess. Metadata dot, so token type, what is the types that we have? So we have all these different things, right? So I don't remember, was it blob or something? I don't think that's gonna be there. Module, I think. Yeah, I mean, if it equals a module, but there's also a rid to it. So I don't know if it's going to be in the metadata token. What else do we have? Kind of like the main module has custom attributes. So if I said we have the assembly definition, what did we iterate on previously? Was it the main module? Yeah, the main module. So metadata dot, no, I want to do rt equals 80 dot main module dot custom attributes metadata resolver, something in here, custom debug informations, has a debug header. So one of these things might be useful. So I think what we might want to start has symbols. Let's start there. So which one are we doing? Let's do, so this one should be false if we go through it. But let's try that and then see if symbols yells at us, and if it does, then we know nothing's embedded. And if it doesn't, then we can test the other one. False. Okay, so we'll go and say autofact, and then we'll say, I forget what was it, like 6.1.0 or something. And then in here, this one should have symbols. So we should see true. No, so still false. Should we double check? Autofact. I thought it had symbols. It does not have symbols. Invalid PDB format. Oh, so maybe it still does work. Let's try, I don't know, let's grab something. Nugensoft.json. That one does have symbols, so 1203. Let's try that. Nugensoft.json 1203. 1203. And try that one again. So if that says symbols true, no, that one doesn't work either. Let's just dive into this class and look at what the heck is even in it. Okay, so debug information, let's look at that. Let's look at some of these results. So no results for that. Yeah. Okay. Characteristics, what is this gonna have? Okay. Attributes, what do we got here? Okay. Don't really care about the assembly revolvers. Has assembly references, true. Has a debug header, true. Has an image, has symbols, false. So what is the image exactly here? So here's the debug header here. And here's the entries. Here's a PDB heap as well. There's a linker version in here. Oh, so we can grab the runtime version here. That would be very helpful. So wait, what is this in? The image? Okay, what other attributes do we have here? Same things. The architecture was all of these different runtimes. Okay. So was there a specific version? Like if I do this thing, was there a specific version in this thing that was kind of looking for? I forget what it was. I assume there was a specific version. So something here. Compiler version supports reproducible. So this one's grabbing the compiler version. We would probably have the runtime version here. So basically, if it's this, it's okay. Okay. So let's keep looking. See if there's anything else. What we're looking at here, the main module. So we looked at the image. Let's look at the metadata system here. This might have a little bit more. A lot of custom attributes. So this is where we can potentially be like seeing what's in here. I don't think anything here. I mean, there's a lot. I really don't want to iterate through them all either. So like parameters, all that stuff. Custom debug informations, generic parameters, methods. A reading mode that's deferred. See the runtime, I think that's kind of cool. You can just grab the runtime version here. But I want to see if there's a compiler flags thing. There's also custom info here. Oh, nothing in here. So they do have a metadata reader too. Runtimer, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for right now. Just kind of seeing what's really in here. There's so much. So even the image, I'm just trying to see like if I can find compiler flags somewhere. So I need some way to basically find the compiler version. compiler flags dot where. So where is compiler flags come? I think it's part of that spec thing, right? I don't really remember. So where the key? Yeah, I think this thing just like kind of iterates through a lot of things. Yeah, so here's the debug data. So get compiler flags. So I guess it'd be in here somewhere. So wait for data, you order it, you grab the compiler flags. Okay, no, not there, it's this one. Or was this the one I was just in? This thing? Yeah. Get compiler flags. So compiler flags GUID is this thing. So I would have to find it. And I mean, that's gonna be, I don't think it's a custom attribute. What was it again? I think someone else. Can I have the name or the playlist? Yeah, it's, let me just send a link. Yeah, try this one. Okay, what was I doing again? I was looking for this compiler flags GUID. This thing just basically goes through the custom debug information of the module. So that's what I was looking for. Custom debug information of the main module. So custom debug information. This thing probably has a lot of stuff in it, right? Or custom attributes. I'm not sure which one is which. So we need to get the custom debug information. This thing. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Like, although I could waste a lot of time on this specific area, I don't think I should waste too much time on it. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna skip over to the next one, just because like this one's really involved. I don't want to waste too much more time on it, so let's skip over to the support up to date. We'll just do something similar for it. This one will be a little bit easier. It still is going to be hard to say like the package supports the latest .NET SDKs, but should be able to figure it out. So get, let's call this up to date dependencies score section. And then inside the score section service, let's create a new one. Same idea. Let's get rid of that, and then get up to date dependency score section, right? Okay, so now this one's going to be an interesting one. We're going to go back to our score service here. And this one, we need to kind of use the package context here to go through all the dependencies. So let's start to kind of at least get that. So var package dependencies equals context dot, I think it's the metadata, I want to guess for now. And inside here, I want to say the dependency sets are going to be our best Bet, right? So let's start there. So for each of our dependency in package dependencies, let's start to do something. So we'll say dependency dot packages. So now we need to go through each one of these ones. So now we need a second for each. Not ideal, but that could happen, right? So is it going to be package dependencies? I guess let's just kind of go through it and see what happens. So let's do another for each of our package in dependency dot packages, right? So inside here, we're basically going to check if it's the latest updated version. So I had code in my nuget service somewhere. I was holding this one for a rainy day. So I have this thing, get latest version. What do I want to do with this one? So right now it's not being used anywhere. I don't want it to necessarily have a package context in here. I might want to just pass in a package dependency. I don't know what a package dependency is though. So let's look at what that looks like. Sorry, the derived. What am I looking for? The implementation. I just want to look at it. There we go. So, ID and version string range. So this might be it, but I guess let's just test it out. See what's coming in here. Just for now, and then we'll kind of see what's going on with it. So we got to make sure we call it support up to date dependencies. I think we call on it. No, yeah. So this will be called. We don't do any validation for it yet. And let's debug it, see how far it goes. All right, so we don't want these anymore. We'll add more comments here, but there's stuff we can do. Just don't know what I'm doing right there. So if the package here is Microsoft C#, that is the dependency for it. Now the question is now it has a version range. The min version is 4.3.0. The max version is null. So this one has a range. So let's look at what that looks like. Am I still doing this one? Which package am I doing right now? Newtonsoft.json 12.0.3. So going back into this thing, let's look at what that looks like in here, right? So that's where it's going into these dependency groups and it's trying to add all these. So this one's saying for net standard, grab me version 4.3 and yeah, okay. So basically what we need to do, we need to get the ID of the package and we need to get the version of the package. And we need to check if that version that is defined here is the latest or not. So for Microsoft.C#, 4.3.0, I don't know if that's old or not. Probably is. I don't think that package has been updated for a while. So we'll see that 4.7.0. So this one would be over 5 years old or something like that. So how far am I with this tool? So right now, let's actually just run through everything really quick. So how far this thing goes right now is that it'll check all of your, basically your metadata. So that's all of this metadata here. Pretty much everything that's like defined as metadata items. Dependencies are the things we're working on right now. So we're going to be looking through all of the versions of these dependencies and making sure that they're latest and greatest if possible. I mean, it's not like practical, but we want to make sure that they're the latest and greatest. So that's what we're doing right now. But yeah, so you have that section. The other part is it will read through your, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I'm trying to say. It'll read through your DLLs and get all the total public members, and it'll grab all of your XML and read what members were documented and give you a, right now it's checking for like 20% or higher, and then you get the full score. And then it's also just checking for multiple platforms. So that is, I just keep opening up the windows. That is checking for Net Standard 2.0 and Net 5.0 right now. So right now we have about 3 sections done. I want to do about 5 before I release it, but it's very likely I'll only get to 4 just because this past static analysis feature is going to take a lot of effort, and I'm sure I can just use some existing stuff, but you know, I want to do a lot of things here, like check for health and also make sure that the code didn't really have any warnings or errors and things like that when it was built. So I don't think that one's going to be possible, but you know, someone can dream. I'm sure there's something in there. So back to where I was. So we're kind of checking each dependency, and now we're checking each package in those dependencies. So that's kind of showing this kind of thing, right? Go back here. So this would have 2 groups of dependencies, and then we have all these packages or dependencies in them, where we're going to be checking each one of them. So this one's going to be hard to report back, but we want to run some code. I mean, it's not going to be pretty code, but let's just look at what we had here. So inside of this one, I wanted to take in a package version. I forget what it is called. Pretty sure. I thought it was nuget package version. I forget. Where did I have that? I had it somewhere else. Oh, nuget version. Sorry. So nuget version. And then this thing, I think, includes the ID in it. Maybe it doesn't. So this just includes a version. So I need to pass ID, comma, nuget version. So we'll do that. So let's say string ID, nuget version, and call it version. So the package thing will be the ID coming in. The hard part is like, I don't really need this. The version list, I'll just grab the last or default, but I want to check if the version is latest. So I'm going to reuse this method, create a new one. This one is going to be called compare is latest nuget version, and the task is going to be a bool. Is task bool or just task? Task is void. Yeah, so task bool should be fine, I think. We'll say var that var latest version is that, and then we're going to compare these things. So the NuGet version, and then the latest or latest version is NuGet versions.that. So that should be fine. And then we'll say if latest version dot that's gonna be hard, isn't it? Version dot, is there a good compare to? So if we want this latest version, we're gonna need a way to basically check if it is newer or not. There is a semantic version class. I have no clue where it is or how it's documented, but let's see if there's an example. NuGet client SDK. Inside here, there might be some examples or samples. So download, metadata search, push, delete, authent feeds, packages. Don't want these. So samples, where's that thing? Something like this. Download package, list package versions. I mean, it's probably just the same sample, isn't it? Something similar to what I'm doing already. I wish that there was methods. Yeah, I think NuGet version should be semantic version 2 like compatible. I haven't actually like looked. Yeah. So I don't know if I can just use. Okay, so this actually does have comparables. So I could probably just use that then, right? That might help me. Okay, here we go. So we can compare greater than or equals. Ah, okay, cool. Let's do it. Thank you. I was not thinking about that. So I'll just say if the latest version is greater than or equal to the new version. What did we call that one? Version. Really bad one. Then we return false, right? And this thing wants, what am I missing? Another, I'm returning I don't think I think I'm making a really dumb mistake here. Tasks are usually fire forget. Oh, I see. Return false. Oh man, it's been a long day. So if it's that, yeah, we might just like refactor it, but let's just run the code, see how far we get, and see if this is even right. And then back to the score service. So inside here, we're gonna be, I would like to do something like this. So NuGet service equals new NuGet service. And then inside here, we'll say NuGet service dot is latest NuGet version package. And then, so we needed both the package, what did I say, the ID and the version? So the ID, so package dot ID, comma, and then I don't think there's a version in here, but that's where we're gonna have to figure out how do we, can we go version range dot, I'll have to figure out what exactly, but I think min is going to be what we want. And then we can just say for each that var result equals whatever, right? Let's just test it out, see how far we go. Cool. So first one is C#, passes in C#, min-verge 4.0. This should return false because 4.7 is the latest. And oh, did I not await it? I need to rename that then. Okay, so, all right, latest version, 4.7.0. That looks pretty good to me. So if the latest version is greater than or equal to, return false. That sounds right. Else, return true. Okay, and let's just continue down. Does it actually apply changes? Like, I actually never really paid attention. That'd be cool if it did. All right, next package. Net standard 1.61. Let's run through. Latest version 2.0. That. All right. So we have our thingy working. Cool. It probably runs pretty slow, but whatever. Latest version 4.0, latest version 4.0. That one should, so this one, I don't think we need greater than or equal to. We just say greater than, right? So that way, if we do run this case, I mean, it is on the latest version. So if it's greater than, return that, else return true. Yeah, so try it again. Let's go through another example. I don't know if it applies the change, that'd be really cool. I really don't know if it does that. So 4.3.0. All right, and latest is 4.3.0. 4.3.0, it should go to this bucket. It does, return true. All right, cool. So I'm calling that one good for now. Thank you, Dan, so much for the heads up on the NuGet version. So now we can start to think about how this will all work. Kind of have this idea that we're supporting the latest versions. They're very dumb, right? Like, we're just checking if it's the latest version. It's not going to be a perfect tool. Maybe with time and energy and stuff like that, it can be, but this will check at least to make sure that you're on the latest version. So if you're on a 4-year-old version of Microsoft C# and you go and look at Microsoft SC, I don't even think it's still like active. I mean, it's been a couple of years, right? I mean, if we look at the actual packages like 4.7 and 4.3, let's just grab both of them really quick. Like 4.7 supports a lot of targets. So net2, Even Net Core 5.0, that's a really old target actually. That predates Net Core app, I think. And then if you had this other one, right, and they have the same things, except for this one supports Net Standard 2.0, which is a little bit better, right? 'Cause it supports a little bit more. We want the users to be using this thing in their references because technically it's latest and it includes the more compatible targets, right? Because like how PCLs and Net Standard and all that stuff worked was the lower the version, the more compatible, the more function, like I guess platform functionality and stuff like that, like feature wise. But as you go higher up in versions, you get more compatibility across the packages. So like 1.1 only supports a certain surface versus Net Standard 2, where you have a very, very large surface. I mean, there's tables and stuff like that on it, but that's kind of the goal. Is like, that'd be cool because now this library could have had 4.7, which has the latest stuff, is targeting the latest stuff. More people could use it, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of change and stuff like that where you kind of see this, but also we want to get out of this. Like, there's a lot of these dependencies that you don't even need. Like with the Net Standard 2.0, like if I switch this to 2.7 or 4.7 or whatever, I don't even think there's any dependencies for Net Standard 2, right? Like those are all kind of removed. So in turn, right, you less dependencies, less problems. At least that's what I like to think. Is it latest preview or latest stable? Right now it's stable. It's not going to pull preview. I could do that, but right now I want only stable, just because that to me at least makes sense. Like if I one day found that there was a security vulnerability in my packages, right? What would you do? What's your like, say you're writing software and like you have a 4-year-old dependency in your project, like what do, right? Well, you try to find a version that was updated recently, which is usually at the latest stable. So that's the kind of push I'm thinking about with regards to this, which is, hey, check to make sure I'm on the latest stuff. And I mean, there's tools that do this. I think there's a .NET Outdated or .NET something. So this tool, I think, does this, where you can, it's pretty much doing the same thing I'm checking here, but it's saying, hey, you can find the latest version and then you should update to them. So kind of want to do like a small version of that, just because I want people to update their damn stuff. Yeah, it's not semantic versioning, I guess, known, or like, because like this one is, right? You have red where it's saying, okay, you have a major change, it's going to break, right? Which is your major version. Minor versions where a lot of people don't really follow semantic versioning like to the T. So that's the hard part, is if everyone did it, then yeah, it works pretty well. But you kind of live in a hybrid where some packages actually break on minor versions, and it's hard because that's just how they're versioned. So I think like a lot of mobile packages are kind of like that. Like their minor versions are kind of their major versions. So okay, cool. So we just got that functionality done. We did a lot of investigation, cleanup, stuff like that. The one consideration I have is that if I can start to, I don't know how to score this thing yet. So all package dependencies are supported in the latest version. How the hell I'm doing this, I don't know yet, but I'm going to start with this. So basically I need to create a list and keep track of any not updated packages. I don't know yet if I should just kind of, I guess, take away points right now. Like, again, like this is just like a proof of concept and all this stuff will be figured out later. But I just kind of want to show the concept that like if you don't have the latest updates at the time that you publish, that to me is a thing to look into. And that's why you would run this tool. So I think I should be, for at least 10 points, I think I should be like, hey, you need to make sure everything's on the latest version. I think that's reasonable. But then again, you have a lot of issues, which is like, well, I'm stuck on this version because they introduced a bug, or I'm stuck on this version because this feature was removed, or whatever. But again, this is just proof of concept. So that's what we'll do. So let's try to comment really quick. I'm going to say, let's do either all dependencies are updated fully or no points or something like that. So the hard part here is that you're going to have old packages, right? This, for example, this package that's not been updated for 2 years, it's going to fail, and it should. It's hard because say you're taking this back on and you wanted to update it, right? I would hope that this tool or another tool or something like that would be able to say, hey, you should update at least these packages. The compatibility part is the hard part. You know, some other packages will have their like they'll drop these TFMs just whenever, right? So they can actually cause a break and you won't be compatible. We don't necessarily have, or at least like what I'm thinking about is I want to make sure they're supported at least. So like they have the portable targets and stuff, but I mean, I just don't think there's a bulletproof solution for it. So, yeah. So next thing we got to do, I guess, is it's all or none. So we need a list of all of our results and kind of go from there. So I'm just kind of thinking like, I don't know, just a list of bools of updated packages. We'll just create a new one or something, and then we'll just say updated packages.add, and we'll add it, the result to it, and then we'll just kind of check it. So inside here now, I mean, we can also move a lot of this code over to our score service if we want to. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care too much where it goes. But I want to basically say, okay, so inside the score service, so yeah, I should probably move it. So let's do that. We'll move a little bit of this code, I think, just because like I want to be able to score it while I have it in the context of it, and I'll definitely need the whatever it is. All right, why is that thing not popping up? All right, so I mean, I'm just using a God object anyway. It's not a big deal. So inside here, now I have this update packages. So I can create a new score section. So let's do something like this. And then like that. And then title is going to be, the score section is going to be up to date dependent, or has, let's do that, has up to date dependencies. Max score for at least this one is going to be 10. The current score is either a 10 or 0. So it's going to say, we want to check the updated packages dot count, and we want to say that is if it's greater than 0, it's going to be a no, we're gonna add this, so we're gonna have to do something different. So dot, let's do something like this. Updated packages dot where what did we have as this? Was this an object or was this just a bool? I don't remember. What is it again? A bool. So we want this the what am I doing here? I gotta think. We definitely want to either 10 or 0. The summaries are something we gotta create. This is the hard part. Like, we're gonna have to create a summary if the package is not up to date. So example would be like C# or like Microsoft.C# or something like that is version 4.3.0 update to 4.7.0. So that would be so we might need the summary. This thing only returns a bool. So we might have to pass this info back, or in this method or something, return an object or something that will pass back the latest version. But right now, it's not a big deal. So updated packages, what is it again? What is it like? Link bool list. I totally forget what this is. Contains true. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is terrible. Where it contains, and when they're updated, the result is, yeah, where it's false. If that is dot count. Oh wait, what am I doing? Bool cannot apply that. I want it as a what did I want? Is it any? I don't even remember. Any that. We just want it when it's false. All right. I totally forget. It's so gross. True for all. This is why you do not code late at night. No. We don't want contains. Update packages dot any. I really don't remember what the syntax is. All right. So update packages, let's just see how far it goes first, and then let's try this at 0 for now. Summaries, we gotta create some, so let's do that. list of summary summaries, and then equals a new list, and then inside this thing, summaries, right? And then inside this thing, we just want to say which one is off. So we're adding it. Don't really care like if it's added. I guess if we want, we should only say add it if it is. Yeah. Then we can just count it, right? Yeah. If result, so if the result is latest, so if not result, right? Then we're gonna add it, and then we're gonna add a summary. So let's do that. There we go. We fixed two problems in one by whatever we were doing. Expression is always false, if not result. Wait. We want a bool result. I don't think. No, that's fine. Expression is always false. Is it really? Does this? I don't think this flips, does it? Oh, it's been a while. I really don't think so, right? So this one, I mean, that's fine. So go here, result is false, if not result. If not result, so false, that's right, we want it added. Okay. Next one. Let's look for a true one. So that one's false again. This one's going to be true, and it skips. So why is it giving me that? Why would it give me that? Expression is always false. I mean, I guess I understand why it gives it to me, because like it's just saying, okay, well you can actually just do this, but it's not what I wanted. So let's create a new summary. Summary, let's just do something like this. Summary equals new summary. The issue is going to be, let's do something like package.id is not the latest version. Update, so resolution be update package ID to the latest stable version. I don't know, something. It's almost been about 2 hours, but I'm gonna finish this section probably, and then I'm probably gonna end the stream. So probably like 10 more minutes or so. We'll see how far we get. So let's go for that. Let's add this summary thingy here, and then let's see. Hey, thanks for the follow, Dan. So now we have that. We're all good to go. We have a summary, has update dependencies. Now we can just say the max score is 10. Now we can do this and say the dependency, package dependency, or what was it called? Updated packages. Gosh, really bad names on these things. Updated packages dot count. If that thing is greater than 0, then we'll say 10. Otherwise, we'll say 0. Actually, if it's greater than 0, that means the opposite. So 0 and 10. Okay, status true. That's good. All right, let's throw it through. See what happens. Okay, we got value cannot be null. Text on this. So let's see what happened. So we have a score section. Summaries are in there. We didn't hook up something. So let's go to our score dumper. That's where most of our stuff is being kind of created here. Utilities 142. So here. So this is the past static analysis stuff. And right now, how I have a lot of the stuff is that it's there, but it needs refactored. So I'm going to grab one of my old sections that I have refactored already. This is really bad. I know there's a lot of sections, but I'm okay with it for now. So I'm just going to copy this one and go like this, and then we're going to refactor them because I did a lot of, I need to refactor everything. At the top here, I said something like, what was it? Just make this thing into its own little method or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have to refactor a lot of this stuff. So where am I? Okay, so supports multiple platforms table. This one is called up to date dependencies table. And sadly, I can't really refactor it in Writer. This is up-to-date dependencies. This is support up-to-date dependencies. And what is it? So supports multiple platforms. This one would be up-to-date dependencies. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, we just have these things separate for the reason up-to-date dependencies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, resolutions, fix this thing. And if we have one more, I think it's right here. And it's looking good. Okay, let's try it again. Ooh, it's looking good. Okay, we're getting close. I need to add a lot more details as to where the things came from, like the package group. So let's do that before we call it a night. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I want to add version information into this, but that's likely not going to happen for a little bit. I just want to get the proof of concept out. So let's go back. Score section service. And in here, we say it's not the latest version. So let's find where the package is coming from. We have the dependency, right? Like we should be able to grab the package something else. So let's say the package dot, maybe it won't come from here. I want to grab like the folder path or something here. So maybe that is something else. Maybe the dependency dot packages dot, I don't even know. I would think that package would have something, but I don't think so. What does the include do? Types to include, types to exclude. I don't care about those. Version ranges. what does that give me again? It just gives me like strings. So really, I wonder if at this level, if I say dependency dot, the target framework is exactly what I'd want to pass in. So can I grab that? I don't think I can because it's the dependency dot packages, but we'll see. Dependency dot target framework dot get short folder name, and then we'll say package dot ID. Right, so we'll just concatenate this thing. Update this. So if that works, we win for the night and we get to go to bed. Close. I need a slash. Yeah. Plus something like that. I'm sure I can do a better string concatenate, but whatever. Not a big deal. I'm not supposed to code. What am I doing? So, yeah, we need to add a comment here. Get the latest version from something. Actually, no. Why don't we do this? I mean, var latest version. Do we have that already somewhere? I'm sure we do. Why don't we just do this? Await the NuGet service dot get latest NuGet version, and then that thing is the same thing, right? Package dot ID, package dot version dot min, right? Then this way, right, we can have the latest version, and we can just say is not the stable. Okay, update that to the latest stable version. Boom, and then yeah, something like this. So this would be latest version dot version to string. I mean, it should just spit out like that, right? It's an extra call, but whatever. It's taking a long time. What is this thing doing? I don't even know what this is. Okay. Something's going on here. There it goes. I do not like that version string. Dot. Give me something to string. There's gotta be a better thing. There's gotta be a prettier version. Since it's build component, I don't want the build component is what I don't want. I want major, minor, and revision. Is there something else? Latest version dot, is there something in here? Original version? Non-normalized, is that right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it does. Let's try it. Maybe I'll just throw in latest version, see how that kind of looks. See what the toString does. Ah, perfect. That looks great. Not bad. all in 2 hours work, right? So that looks cool. I mean, yeah, I'm digging it. I think the yellow needs to say it's not the latest version. Here's the current version. So let's add that. Package dot version range dot min or something. I don't know. I mean, this isn't going to be bulletproof. It is the min. I don't think that's right. I'll try it. I mean, it will look how we want it to look, and it can portray the idea, but it's not going to be a perfect implementation, right? Because maybe it will do okay. I mean, we'll see these things a lot, but there might be packages that have way different requirements. I think we can get away with it, right? I mean, nuget is a resolve first type of. Let's look at some, like, I think like some other packages would give us a good idea. So let's find something and start closing out everything. So let's see. What about like a Xamarin package, Android X or something? Like these ones are typically like greater than or equal to. So this one is just equals to, greater than or equal to, right? So if this one had dependencies of greater than or equal to 1.1.0.9, right, that would still be the minimum version. So let's take this one as one final example. So we'll take Android X 1.3.2.3. I hate that version. I don't like 4 versions. 1.2.2.3. No, 1.3.2.3. 1.3.2.3. So in here, what's our expectations? Let's kind of figure that out first. So let's look at it in nuget.org. So the thing that we have is 1.1.0.9. Is that the latest? That looks like it is the latest, so yes. Is this the latest? 2.3.0.1? Yes, it's the latest stable. And then this one, what is this one? Version parsable 1.1.1.7. So all of them are yes, it is on the latest. So this one theoretically should get points, right? Theoretically. So let's throw it through. All right, to the meat grinder. Let's do it. It's not gonna work. Alpha. So my latest version, this is needs to not get the pre-releases. So var that. So to list. So I need to say versions.where x of x dot whatever is semver2. Is it, does that work? I think it might. No, it's not is semver2 because it, well, wait, it broke something else. Are those just then? Okay, wait. Let's not break too much stuff. So the versions, it's grabbing 1.2.0.alpha. Is that a pre-release? I thought it is. Alpha a pre-release? It should be, right? 1.2, what was it? 1 dot something? Which one's failing on my tool? Annotation. So it is pulling in. It's pulling in something. Yeah, I thought there was a pre-release flag, but I don't think there is on at least this get all versions thing. There's an ID, source. It just grabs all of them, so I have to filter them afterwards, and that's what sucks. Get all. Yeah, there's just not really much. So basically there is a unlisted version or something. I don't even see it, right? Like, I'm on annotation. This thing's throwing 1.2.0.alpha. I mean, we can find that out by going like this, right? Not that is latest, but this one, right? Go up to this one. We're just grabbing the last or default. I mean, it's a really bad implementation, but I mean, we have to basically filter this list, I guess, to something. So let's see what this list looks like. So this is including the previews. So, oh man. Is Semver version 2, right? Half of these aren't even Semver, so they're not even gonna work. This one will work, wouldn't it? Oh no. Is there something else I can grab from it then? I don't even know what this flag does then. It's like, yeah, so this one has 1.2. And that's the last or default here. There's a flag is pre-release. Where is that? Am I just like passing over? Ah, right here. I see it. Let's do it. Thank you. All right, so versions dot where I'll just do something like this, is pre-release, and then we'll say that, right? And then to list. Okay, moment of truth. So actually, let's actually fix this first. Let's put it in here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we did it. It works. Cool. This one is really failing. All right, cool. At least it's starting to show a lot of stuff. So very, very cool. It is time to go to bed for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been fun. We'll probably post a tweet tomorrow about it or something, and maybe later tonight just for fun. But we've got a lot done in 2 hours, so I'm happy. Got another quick section done. I want to do a lot more with these things, but yeah, they all take time. So other than that, that'll be stream for tonight. I'm gonna commit this code. I'm gonna see how I can release it really quick. I pretty much have everything ready to release. It is also just a .NET CLI, so this thing actually, I just have to fill out some of the various stuff, generate it. I mean, it could be already packed. It's all good to go, but we got to get it out and then have some people just kind of test it out, maybe make some issues, all that type of stuff, and hopefully it'll be useful. I don't know. It's kind of been a fun little project, that's for sure. So cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much, and we'll take care, and we'll see you, I don't know, maybe a couple days, maybe Friday. All right, take care.